Hello there everyone, Joe Schmo here, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to install and run a Sponge server as well as installing plugins and Forge mods to your server. If you don't already know, Sponge is the next great thing for running Minecraft servers, multiplayer servers. So to get started, we'll want to download and install Java. So simply just go to a search engine and type Java and download free Java software. Now I already have it installed on my system, so I'm not actually going to go through the install process, but most of you will want this 64-bit edition. If you have a 64-bit machine, most of you do, it allows you to allocate more than 1 GB of RAM for your server. So once you have that done, continue with the tutorial. It's pretty straightforward. It's an installer, just next until it's done and you're good to go. So once you're done with that, you'll want to come back to spongepower.org and go to their forums. In these forums, you'll see Sponge dev builds now available. Click on that link, and then you'll want to go to the top, and you will see this line here. So click on this link, and you'll see many versions of their releases. I usually go with the latest and greatest. That's what we're going to use today for this demonstration. You'll want main. The sources and Java docs are for developers. You don't need to worry about them. I've already set up a empty folder on my desktop for this purpose today, so you'll probably want to do the same thing. Once it's downloaded, go to the folder where it downloaded, and we'll need to make a start script. This will be for Windows. If you use Linux, then you'll have to make an SH file. Video tutorial for that will come later. But for now, go ahead and rename this jar file. And some of you might not see the file extension .jar because by default Windows hides known file extensions. So to change that, you just go to Organize, Folder Options, and then go to View and uncheck Hide extensions for known file types. Just uncheck that, apply and OK, and you'll see the .jar. So now rename this to just sponge.jar. And now create a new text file. And rename it start.bat and go ahead and OK the warning. And now what we want to do is edit this file. I prefer Notepad++. And on the first line, you'll simply want to type Java space -jar space sponge.jar space run, just like this. And then on the second line, I always like to put a pause so that way if there's an exception or something, the command window doesn't just close on you and you can actually see what went wrong. Okay, now save and close this file. And go ahead and left click to run it. And you'll see it begin to download its libraries and dependencies. And it starts creating folders. Okay, so now you see that the eula.txt has generated, and you have to edit that file and change a string to true so that way it'll actually run. So we'll go ahead and just close this window and edit this. to true, and then save and exit. And then go ahead and, at this point, you're ready to actually download plugins, but I would recommend just running it by itself to make sure that everything is okay. So rerun the start.bat. Okay, it's done. Your world has been generated and the server is now ready for use. And I believe that you can go in and change this start.bat to go. Just like so. Save and exit. Let's run it again to make sure I'm right. Yeah, that looks like that's fine. I'm unsure whether run or go is different. I believe run installs and then runs the server, and go just runs it while also checking for updates. I am not sure though. Okay, so we'll go ahead and close this, and we'll download a plugin and a mod. So we'll want to go back to the Sponge forums, and you'll go to the category plugin releases. There's also a few released plugins in beta or alpha stages in the work in progress stages. And for this example, we'll go ahead and grab we'll go ahead and get destinations, which is in work in progress. There we are. So you just scroll down and you can see there's a release page. Now, for Sponge, its plugins also go in the mods folder just like a Forge mod. So we'll save it there. And then we'll grab a Forge mod. Trying to think of which one that I want to get. Alright, so I've decided to go with Dr. Cyano's Wonderful Wands. It's a mod that you'll be able to see in action right off the bat. So we'll go ahead and download this to the same mods directory that you downloaded the Sponge plugin. Alright. Now, if you want to run your server and have more than just a few people on it, you'll want to allocate more memory to the Java virtual machine, and you'll do this by editing your start script, start.bat. Whoops. Here we go. And include minus capital X MX, or lowercase mx, 3 capital G, and that'll allocate 3 gigabytes of RAM. If you have it to spare, I recommend at least 2 gigabytes to run a modded or plugin server. Alright, and once you have that done, save and close. And go ahead and run the server. Alright, we didn't see any exceptions while it was loading, so it looks like everything's good to go. Just as a note, if you want to configure your plugins, it is in the same configuration or config folder that most of your Forge mods are. So here's destinations. And as you can see, there's different configurations for this plugin, but we'll go ahead and jump in the game and see it at work. I'll go ahead and go into creative. And we'll grab a wand. I like this Wand of Death, so we'll grab one of them. And we'll go ahead and set a home. Alright, so now we see that home was successfully created, and I believe the command is homes to see a list of them. Yeah, and with the pagination libraries that are in Sponge, it's really nice because right here in chat I can click on that home and teleport to it. So we'll run over here and we'll open up the chat. And bam, you're teleported back to your home just by clicking. You can also delete, you can set warps with this plugin, but if you want to play with it, I'm sure you're dying to get your own server going. And of course we can see that this wand will be working. Oh yeah. And that is pretty much it. If you have any other questions, you can always get onto the Sponge community forums and ask questions there. If you have exceptions or problems, you can also refer to Forge and the respective mod authors forum pages for more information about them. This is Joe Schmo, signing off.